Hello there and welcome to The Disconnected. In January of 2022, Vinegar Syndrome released number 20 in their Vinegar Syndrome Archive sublabel. Let's dive into The Fortress of America. In 1989, Lloyd Kaufman's Troma helped produce a film for Eric Lucille called Fortress of America, and the spelling of the title was obviously done for a very specific reason. The film itself is about a group of mercenaries in the Pacific Northwest that are, as they say, practicing running military drills, but in all reality, they're just straight murdering all of the innocent people in the town that they are next to, so aptly named Troma City. Now, this film is a mess. I will simply say that, and to get that out of the way now, I'm going to easily give this a solid 3 out of 5. It's not a great film, but it's entertaining as hell, but let's find out why. So this film, like I said, very messy, but this group of people that are just out in the middle of nowhere, just straight murdering everybody, is super wildly entertaining. There is a bar fight, there's a decapitation by knife, there are multiple explosions. There is an actual explosion budget on this film. There had to have been. The only thing that there are more of in this movie than there are nipples is mullets, and even then, it's just barely more. This movie is great. One of the things that I will say that really impressed me about this is the gore or the practical effects associated with that. When this was announced from Vinegar Syndrome, they did say that this was one of the more gory action films, and they were very, very truthful about that. It is very bloody. The things that they show, a decapitation by knife, like I alluded to, the fact that people are exploding in front of them. They had one man tied to a tree into the bumper of a car and ripped in two. Yeah, this is something that most people are going to want to see. The story itself, not super deep. It's not something that you hear about all the time. It's not something that you're going to go into figuring out some heady, detective type story or anything like that. It's a Troma film, and a lot of them are bad, but this is at least extremely entertaining. So all in all, in terms of the VSA line, I think this is one of the better ones. This is easily top tier VSA. It is probably top 5 or 6 for me out of the 21 that they've released so far. Fortress of America has some pretty bad acting overall, but it makes up for that in simple popcorn power. This is something that you sit down with a group of people and just admire for as long as you can on a Friday night, eating a shit ton of popcorn, having a couple beers, and just laughing. This movie is simply fun. On my standard grading scale, this one's going to get 3 inverted nipples out of 5. It is really well done, and overall, I think that this is a movie that most people are going to want to see. As for my usual pairing, if you're familiar with the VSA line, you were most likely familiar with Grindhouse Releasing. Grindhouse Releasing released a film called The Tough Ones. Now, The Tough Ones is an Italian film that is action heavy and very silly and a little over the top, but it will pair perfectly with this. It is a very good 1-2 punch of not necessarily similar styles, but kind of juxtaposing styles in the same theme at least. And you will get the same feeling watching both of them. They are simply 2 films that you can sit back, relax, and enjoy. To be quite honest, The Tough Ones is genuinely a really good movie and outclasses Fortress of America by leaps and bounds, but it will still be an entertaining doubleheader with Fortress of America. This gets my wholehearted, entertaining stamp of approval. Enjoy this one for what it is, and if you are keen, even though it's out of print, the same director for Fortress of America also did Lust for Freedom in the Vinegar Syndrome catalog. Lust for Freedom and Fortress of America both share a lot of the same feeling in the movie, and it might be something that if you are really enjoying Fortress of America, you might want to seek out Lust for Freedom. If you're looking to get into the Vinegar Syndrome archive line, I've got a link below to the Vinegar Syndrome website where all of them that are still in print are listed. Overall, I hope you enjoyed that review. Give it a like if you liked it, and subscribe down below if you haven't. I've got a lot more of these coming. And in the meantime, like I always say, from one collector to all of you, have a good night. is about a group of mercenaries in the Pacific